Thanks to Wendigo Tea for their support. They're keeping each episode steeped in mystery and value. WendigoTea.com.
Your daily game plan for success. It's Sachs in the Morning. Steve Sachs.
Hi, Steve Sachs here with Sachs in the Morning, and today is Monday, March 13th, and we are into daylight savings time, and I'm digging it. I love it. I like it getting dark nice and late. And guess what? We're also in the middle of Women's History Month, so I thought this week would be a great time to look back at some of the greatest and most influential female athletes of all time. So I sat down and I started doing some research because I really wanted to find some lesser-known women in history, some that you'd have to think about a little bit, who have obviously paved the way for all the great athletes that we have today. And while I sat down in the early morning to research some of these shorts that we're going to be doing this week, you know what I did? I brewed myself a big cup of Bigfoot black tea from the Wendigo Tea Company. And I really encourage all of you to try this because we've all had black tea before, or at least you think you have. But I'm telling you, you haven't really experienced the flavor and the nuance of a good black tea until you've tried Bigfoot black tea. It's some of the best quality tea you can find, and you can try it with a 15% discount when you go to wendigotea.com and use the promo code of SAX, S-A-X, at checkout. You can also find the link at saxinthemorning.com. So today we're going to talk about the Babe. And no, I'm not talking about Babe Ruth, although we are talking about Mildred Ella Didrikson Zaharias, or better known as Babe Didrikson. Now, Babe Didrikson got her nickname because she was so darn good on the baseball field. She was a great pitcher, and we'll get into that in a little bit, that they started calling her Babe after Babe Ruth. That's how great she was. And, of course, she wasn't just a great pitcher and baseball player. She was one of the greatest athletes of all time. Get this. She pitched against big leaguers in spring training. She was on the women's All-American basketball team during the same time that she won 8 events in a national track and field competition. And then she went on to win 2 gold medals and a silver in the 1932 Olympic Games in totally different disciplines. Hurdles, javelin, high jump. Wow. And around that time, Babe started playing golf. And by 1934, she committed herself to doing this full time. And as an amateur golfer, she won 17 straight tournaments at one point. And then she went on to win the Women's U.S. Open in 1948 and 1950. And then she helped found the Ladies PGA. Unfortunately, she was later diagnosed with colon cancer. And after surgery, she dominated the Women's U.S. Open, all the while she was wearing a colostomy bag. You might remember the stories of female golfers like Michelle Wie and Annika Sorenstam. They were competing against males in the PGA tournaments. But Babe was doing that all the way back in 1945, making the cut and finishing in the top half of the field. She did all this suffering the indignities of the time, being told she should go back home in the kitchen and wear a dress and wait for the phone to ring. She was even questioned as whether she was actually a woman, even though she stood 5'7" and weighed all of 115 pounds. So I hope we can all appreciate the amazing contributions and courage of Babe Didrikson Zaharias and gain some inspiration from her example and her story. And that is my short for today. If you like what you heard, give us a positive review, subscribe, and share. Also, remember that the Sachs in the Morning swag is now available on my Instagram site. Go to _podcast. You'll see it right there on the Instagram, and just hit the link. Everything's there, mugs, hats, tumblers, you name it. Take advantage of it.